work in the engineering organization. I'm the manager for Product Definition and Development Center, which is really the front end of this whole NADSARP architecture. And what I have to worry about MRP is that I'm the guy that provides all of that 98.6% accurate information, which feeds the whole Product Development Center. So,
let me ask you.
Well, if you look at MRP becomes that single point of ordering, the single point of inventory control, which allows us to really understand and control the whole process, so that we're really ordering property one time, using it where it belongs, and working off a single bill of material. So,
how have you seen that change since the very beginning of MRP? What is improved?
Well, you know, you have to understand, I've been through a lot of these iterations with the company, and so the fact that we're starting to get to a single source of information is just a very, very important part of this whole process. Because, you know, in the past we've had lots of places to make lots of mistakes, and we've managed to, you know, to do that. So, if you look at the whole TQM, you know, philosophy, you know, the continuous process improvement, and if you look at NADSARP, NADSARP really can be viewed as one giant step, because, you know, NADSARP, TQM they're really very, very woven together. NADSARP really reorganizes the way Northrop really does business. You know, it really brings us to a process definition rather than a functional definition, and in doing that brings us the focus. Well, if you look at CPI and if you look at TQM, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to get you to a more efficient methodology. And so TQM, even though it's, you know, it's a kind of an umbrella, NADSARP is really this giant TQM step. So it all, yeah, you're right, it all comes together as a puzzle.
Okay, my name is Lou Christensen.
Would you spell it for us, please?
Louchristensen.
Okay. Now, NADSARP, you've been involved. MRP too. You've been involved in it.
Yeah, I've been involved in MRP for the last 2.5 years. Yeah.
Okay. How has it changed? How has it affected you?
Well, I've been involved in systems most of my career at Northrop, and this is just another one of them, but this has been a really big success. So I think it's changed in that we finally were able to put a good team together and finally, you know, put one of these major systems in place at the company. So it's been exciting from that point of view. Is that what you mean by how has it changed? I think there's some fundamental benefits to the company is just having a common base of requirements for both the manufacturing and the material parts of the company, so that we're building and buying the parts to the same baseline. It's been a problem for all the years I've been here, and in addition to that, MRP goes on to offer a lot of other benefits that will help reduce the shortages and the cost of building the aircraft, building the product, whatever it is. It really is probably the basis of TQM is hidden somewhere in MRP. It calls for an awful lot of total quality and teamwork and people working together, which I think is the basis for TQM as well. Well, I may be repeating myself, but I really think that this is probably one of the most successful teams that Northrop's put together to put a project in place, and it's because of all that teamwork and all the people that were involved that we're here today.
Name is Bonnie Pimentel Postier, Pimental-Postier. Yes.
What has MRP done for you?
MRP? Well, MRP has given me a sense of confidence that Northrop can meet the challenges that are coming up real soon. And that's I think, the best thing that it has done for me. Well, the feeling between the implementation and where we are now, I mean, it's given us a new sense of energy and continuity and that kind of thing. I think that's where the biggest experience for me was. What's it going to do for the company? It's going to allow us to compete and be a world leader in our field.
I think the first thing which had happened, the people realized there is a need for a culture change. People start working as teams. They are paying more attention to what they are doing. They see the modernization. They see the new times coming along. And got a team spirit. Much higher data integrity. The quality of the data we are using, generating and using every day, it's of much, much higher quality.
Well, we've actually implemented the first MRP in the aircraft division and on the N14 program, which is our portion of the B2. And we've surprisingly done it with minimal problems. We do have a few that we're working out, but generally speaking, I think it went extremely well. We've had an outstanding team on the project. I'm real proud of all those people. Well, I think just the implementation of MRP2 is a significant improvement in the aircraft division. We have a lot of people that run around the factory trying to chase parts to make sure they're on the assembly line in time, and MRP2 is going to give us quite an improvement in our ability to know where the work in process is and minimize the chasing of those parts. I think that in itself is a major improvement. Yes, I'd like to add the FA-18 to the program. I think we look forward to expanding MRP2 in the aircraft division. It's going to do a phenomenal job in cutting our costs of manufacture down and specifically cutting the disruption that we have on the assembly lines when we have part shortages. So my expectation is now that we've done an outstanding job with this team in implementing MRP2 in its first step, let's take the rest of the steps and do it throughout the division. Well, TQM is improvement of the way we do business throughout the aircraft division. MRP2 is a major step in improving the way we operate in the aircraft division. Therefore, it's a big step toward implementation of TQM. So it fits perfectly.
I think people's understanding of how significant a change in the way we do things is in getting something like MRP implemented at a company like Northrop, as opposed to just implementing a software program.
And what do you see as the future?
I think MRP is going to revolutionize the way people do things at Northrop in terms of managing our resources to build our products. I think it's going to have a huge future at Northrop. It's here to stay. It's an opportunity for everybody. It's a chance for us all to become much more productive, and it's going to make our workplace a lot better because it's going to get us more business. It's going to make our way of doing things cheaper, and therefore we're going to get more business as a result of MRP, I think.
Well, I think what I see there is a real team effort in terms of all functions of the company pulling together to try to make something happen. We know that we've got to commit to MRP. It's going to be good for the company. It's going to be good for our productivity, competitiveness, and I just really am pleased to see all the teamwork involved.
What do you see for the future of MRP?
Oh, I see better products, better price. I think we've got a lot of work to do in the next stages of MRP. I think that everybody involved has done a tremendous job in terms of putting up the first stage of this. Now we're getting into some real major programs. We've got a lot of work to do, but I'm looking forward to it. From a material standpoint, we're looking for that single bill of material where manufacturing and material is in sync with the bill and the schedules. I think that'll be a tremendous boon to the company.
Oh, it's been a great benefit to me. It's broadened my horizon. When I came onto the project, I had a very narrow knowledge scope of what happened at Northrop. So working with the other teams, I've gotten a better picture of the big picture. I've learned a lot. I've enjoyed my whole 3 years almost. Oh, I think it's real important. It's even the month that we've been implemented, we are seeing maybe some deficiencies in procedures that we never knew existed before. We're getting organizations to work together as a team. We're reducing inventory levels. It provides you a lot of information that you didn't have before, which enables you to do your job better. So I think it's extremely important. I think it's been real successful. We've got a couple challenges with the F-18 and 747, but I think it'll be worth it, and as long as we keep working hard, I think we'll do it.
Oh wow, it's meant a lot of work. Among other things, it's meant opening up a whole new part of the company and part of our product process that I didn't know much about. It's opened up a whole lot of new friends and work colleagues, and it's meant a success. Well, it hasn't done it all yet, but we're on our way to real cost savings through inventory reductions and shorter process times and more accurate inventories and schedules.
Okay, so what do you see for the future?
More of it. Better data, shorter, lead times, more accurate scheduling, happier customers. That's the net result. More competitive advantage for us.
Is there anything you'd like to add that I haven't asked?
Well, one thing that other people might not talk about that I will is the impact on our culture and the interdependence we have now cross-functionally that's new to us, and how we've had to do some changes of our mindsets and our philosophies to make that possible. And that's a real evolving process too. So.
Well, I think the primary change that has come about because of MRP is that people have recognized that it takes many departments across the company working together to make substantial improvements in the manufacturing process that we have, and that it's really primarily the working together in a cooperative spirit that helps reduce the cost and make the whole process more efficient. Well, I think that aside from the benefits of having people work together and therefore make sure that there's better communication, I think the other major activity is a substantial reduction in mistakes. People have the information that they need to make the decisions, to make the judgments that will result in the right parts being at the right place at the right time. I think these people have done a fantastic job at getting this thing in. They've been working at it for a long time, and they've succeeded, I think, beyond anything that they expected in the quality and the capability of the installation that they've made. I think that they really should be proud of it.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed is Northrop's dedication to really trying to improve productivity and foster a new competitiveness that has really been lacking in the industry, the basic industry. And so I see literally hundreds of people striving to trying to create a better, productive, more competitive environment. And so I see people at several levels really dedicated to that. And from my perspective, there's a tremendous amount of energy, and all we help to do as consultants is guide it a little bit and try to keep it on track so that these people can do things that really they, on the onset, don't think they can do. And given the drive and the determination, we help them achieve things that they haven't done before. Well, I think really what has to happen with Northrop and the other companies is just an extension of some of the progress they've made. They've got themselves on a basis of improved competitiveness, improved productivity, and ultimately they want to be able to bid more fixed price type contracts, respond to changes in product requirements in a shorter time frame. And so it's some of the same things that's occurring in the commercial world, and response to product development, productivity, and those sorts of things. So it's an extension of what they've already started, really. Well, I think that Northrop is a company that's capable of tremendous progress, and given the success that we have right now with the N14 program, the early on phases, I think that our hands would be in a pretty good place with Northrop. I really think that the company has a tremendous, like I say, sort of basic drive in the people to improve. And sometimes it's masked with all the things that we hear in industry and in the newspapers and that sort of thing, but from what I've seen, there's a real earnest to create a better working environment, and that makes me feel good to be part of it.
MRP will hopefully solve a lot of the problems that I would have had to accomplish myself on the Lismus 2 project. MRP is going to do a lot of the ILS provisioning activities and the spares ordering and so on, so we won't have to duplicate that effort on Lismus 2. We do wonderful things for the company in that we're going to meet all of our CALS standards in terms of responding to the ATF proposal. We're going to end up being very competitive in that regard. I think as a company we need to keep up with all the good new productivity issues that are out there before us. MRP is a big chunk of that. What do I see in the future? I see actually a lot of great things. When we see these kind of implementations actually taking place after we've talked about them year after year after year, I feel very encouraged about that. I think the thing with Lismus 2, the thing with PDDC happening, and particularly the thing with MRP shows that we are going to stand up to all the things that we've said we believe in all this time.
Me, I think, has been watching a large group of people work very closely together to achieve a common goal. And that's impressed me a great deal, watching those people work together. It's been difficult. At times it's been a lot of fun. It's been a menagerie of things, really. Emotions, feelings and thoughts, and the common goal of getting the process into place with the least amount of flaws. And I think I heard somebody say just shortly ago that it's a lot to do with because they were conscientious enough to do the job right. So they worked very hard and they made the right decisions. I can actually see the system being improved upon. I can see the activities that we're working on right now being folded into the other projects, the other product lines to improve the company's business base. Definite improvement. We've already seen some magnificent improvements even at the data level in the process we're doing right now for even a small portion of the business base. I think the people, the personalities. I don't think that I've worked with any stronger personalities in my past, and I think that this has probably been the best experience of my lifetime so far. Definitely.